manager for Wines and Adventures of the Andes, and we are partnered with Mountain Travel Sobek for some of their operations in Chile and Argentina, and have been working together for nearly 7 years, operating, as I said, different regions, and currently 2 programs, a multi-sport trip in Patagonia, and then the program we are going to present today, that is the Summits and Wines of the Central Andes. I want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to join me for this virtual adventure across the Andes in Chile and Argentina. And I will give you a little bit of information about me, so then we can go into more interest subjects like this trip. As I said, I am product manager for Wines and Adventures, and through my work I have had the difficult job of exploring some of the Andes best trekking trails. And in addition to that, when planning this itinerary, I had to go through the exploration of vineyards and food and wine related experiences on both sides of the Andes, so not too bad. Regarding the area in particular, this is a fantastic stretch of the Andes with mountains reaching 23,000 feet, fantastic landscape across the mountains, and also a diversity of cultural elements on both sides of the Andes as we go from Chile into Argentina. These 2 countries have also become sort of meccas for wine lovers from all over the world. So I'm very excited to be your virtual tour guide today covering this trip. We will do questions at the end. So if you have questions, just enter them into your control panel, and we will fill those questions at the end. We are also recording this, so if you have to step away or join us late, you will be able to watch the webinar at its entirety on the Mountain Travel Sobek on a later date. So we will start with a little geographical orientation. So let's cover an overview of the itinerary with this map. The trip starts flying into Santiago de Chile, the capital city, and from there we go directly towards Casablanca. This is west, Casablanca Wine Valley, and here we lodge for the first 2 nights at Hacienda Matetic in a winery, and next day we'll get to explore by foot the coastal city of Valparaiso. That's only 20 miles away from Casablanca Valley. A main goal for this trip is to showcase the contrasting wines and foods of the different regions, and within these 2 days we explore the coastal region, which climate particularly favors the production of the white wines, and also Valparaiso, that has been historically Chileans' main port, is a heaven for seafood. So from here we will head east and south to Maipo Valley and Maipo Canyon. Maipo Valley is the most important of the Chilean valleys in terms of wine production, and getting above the valley into the Maipo Canyon, we will be looking for some of the best hiking trails in the Central Andes. Day 5 of the itinerary is a short transfer to Santiago, this capital city, which is perfect to explore by foot, because most of its historic sites are within 2 square miles. So here we also like to go, deep into the Chilean culture, and we'll explore places like the food market, the Mercado Central. On day 6, we will do one of the world's most spectacular mountain crossings, as we will go across the Andes from Chile into Argentina. During this day, we will do an easy walk at about 10,000 feet of altitude, and we'll have our lunch in view of the southern face of the Mount Aconcagua. This Mount Aconcagua is the highest peak, not only in the Andes, but also in the entire Western Hemisphere. This day we'll go through amazing mountain scenery, extensive switchbacks, and then customs at the border. So it is certainly a full day, and it will require an early start for us. By the late afternoon, we should be lodging at Chacras de Coria in Mendoza, which is a small colonial village on the Argentinian side. The next 2 days in Mendoza, we will visit iconic wineries in Mendoza, and we'll have another great hike at an authentic cattle ranch, again at the Andean foothills. Day 9 is when we take a morning flight to Buenos Aires. Considering the trip departures dates, this day is always on a Sunday, and the purpose of that is that we could walk through the city's main street fair that takes place on this day in the area of San Telmo, one of the historic neighborhoods. On day 10, that is the last day, we keep knowing the city by foot in the morning, and then during the afternoon, we transfer to the international airport to board flights back to the US. So this will be pretty much an overview of the trip, so you can get geographically oriented. But now I would like to go more into the trip details and activities as we go through these slides. Okay, so as I told you, we arrive in Santiago and drive west for about an hour into Casablanca Valley. We will spend 2 nights here in this region, and we'll stay at Hacienda Matetic at Matetic Vineyards. This is an 8-room boutique hotel that is located in a typical colonial construction in the Chilean countryside. The Matetic family arrived in Chile and Patagonia back in 1892, and originally from what nowadays is Croatia. In 1999, the 4th generation of the family planted vineyards on the slopes of this valley, and they became the pioneers in cool climate Syrah for Chile. The cool ocean breeze, as I mentioned before, makes this terroir perfect for some of the Sauvignon Blancs and Chardonnays, the best produced in the country. Here we will visit the modern winery and also will test their premium wines. So next day we continue visiting the coastal city of Valparaíso. As I said, it's the most important Chilean seaport, and it was declared a World Heritage protected site in 2003, thanks to the historical importance, the natural beauty, and the unique architecture that is particularly a mix of 19th century style of housing. Here, we will explore by foot part of the city, walking up and down the hills, and also boarding some of the old funiculars that today still serve service to the local people. In this city, there is a strong presence of graffiti street art that is all around the place. So as we walk, we will have the opportunity of admire many of these murals. Contrasting food and wine between the two countries is certainly one of the highlights of this trip. So we will start savoring that food diversity at Valparaíso, and we'll stop at one of the local restaurants to enjoy Chilean ceviche and many other recipes based on seafood and local elements. We'll return to Matetic, and the next day we'll go, here in this map you can see Valparaíso, Casablanca Valley, and we'll go to Santiago, south into Maipo Valley, and finally Maipo Canyon. Basically, the Maipo Valley is where all the Chilean winemaking tradition started. So here we visit Viña Aras de Pirque, where the owners of this project, they blend 2 Chilean passions, wines and horses. We will focus on the winery. Here we'll learn about the production, we'll walk through the vineyards, see the grapes, and we'll taste their wines, of course. Our accommodation for these 2 days in the Maipo Valley will be the Altiplanico Lodge. This is a small hotel again, and it's located by the Maipo River at the foothill of the Andes. This will be the base for next day, full day hike to El Morado as a natural monument and natural park. So all of this is the Altiplánico. And for this, this hike, we will drive in the morning for about 40 minutes into the canyon to the starting point of the hike. This is an intense hike because of the length and some inclination, but with low difficulty. So anybody in good physical condition can do it. The hike is about 8 kilometers long, and then in the last part of the trail, we will get to see the El Morado Glacier and Mount San Francisco. We'll stop here by the lagoon for lunch and then return to the lodge during the afternoon. The next day, we have a morning transfer to Santiago. We will go to the hotel first. We check in and the singular hotel, and we'll have some time for lunch there in town. And then in the afternoon, we walk through the city. Here we visit the main historic sites, the Plaza de Armas, La Moneda, this is the government house, and more popular places like the fish market. All of this is Santiago. Okay, then day 6 of the trip. This is the big day as we cross the Andes. So during this day, we'll go, we have an early start to avoid early traffic in Santiago and also to avoid a line of buses at the border, you know, as we go through customs. So as we start the scenic drive, we'll head north first throughout the Aconcagua Valley. That is another well-known wine valley in Chile, and then east into the Andes. And here we'll find the switchbacks going up. We'll do customs, and we'll go for an easy hike into the Aconcagua Provincial Park. As I mentioned before, the Aconcagua is 22,840 feet tall. So it's the highest mountain anywhere in the Western Hemisphere. So although we will not be hiking for more than an hour here, it is important to remember that we will be hiking at an altitude of roughly 10,000 feet, you know, coming from Santiago, that is almost sea level. So if on top of that you live by sea level, you will find that even an easy hike like this, it will take a bit of extra effort because of the altitude element. So most important here, during the previous day and early that day, is that you hydrate well, right? So the hike will take us to Horcones Pond for great views of the south face of Aconcagua. And then during the afternoon, we'll start descending into the Argentine valleys. This will be siesta time, nap time, and it takes some 3 hours to come down the Andes until we reach Chacras de Coria. This is a small colonial village a few miles away from Mendoza. And here we lodge at Lares de Chacras Boutique Hotel. Dinner will be at the hotel, and then a well-deserved rest after this full day across the Andes. So coming next day will be, in the morning, we will visit 2 iconic wineries. One of them, Catena Zapata, that is considered by many as the true pioneers of quality winemaking in Argentina. And then Achával Ferrer, there is a small state and winery that became famous when, after only a couple of years into the market, into the production, they pulled out a Malbec that got 98 points awarded by the wine critic Robert Parker. So what follows this day is a short transfer to Mendoza, some time for lunch in town, and then in the afternoon we walk through the city's amazing parks and hills. This city is an example of green city with countless parks, and this is due to the fact that the city was totally rebuilt after a huge earthquake during the mid-1800s. So parks seem to be the solution for people to find a way out in the middle of an earthquake. Then, next day, there is another full day hike as we get back to the Andean foothills. The entire hike takes place in an authentic cattle ranch, Quebrada del Cóndor. This is located on the slopes of the Cordón del Plata mountain range that includes some of the highest peaks in the area, going up to 19,000 feet. So we will be hiking at the foothills of these mountains. And then in our way back to the ranch, we will be hosted by the family that owns the ranch, and there we can expect a barbecue in true Argentine style. This is good. Okay, next morning we will fly to Buenos Aires, which is Argentina's capital and perhaps the most cosmopolitan city in South America. During our departures, this is a day, it's a Sunday, and so here we'll have the opportunity to experience the San Telmo Street Fair. Also, as we walk the city during this tour, we will make some stops at hidden venues like historic cafes of the city of Buenos Aires. And then, getting more into the evening, we will start focusing on another main Argentine passion, tango. So this evening, we will attend to a milonga. And milongas relate to tango in an authentic way. So milongas are not tango shows. Milongas are local venues where you can learn some steps and dance. And in these places, both locals and tourism will mix. So it's an interesting thing to do. That dinner is farewell dinner, and of course it will be at one of Buenos Aires' well-known steakhouses, in this case, La Cabrera. Finally, the next morning, this is the last day of the trip, we keep exploring the city of Buenos Aires. This time it's northern, a bit more aristocratic neighborhoods, stepping as well into the Recoleta cemetery, the famous cemetery of Recoleta. Noon and early afternoon are free to explore on your own, last chance for shopping. And usually, as flights back to US are in the evening, we normally plan on a 4:30 or 5 p.m. transfer to Ezeiza International Airport. So, okay, I think that's it. We have covered the entire trip. Thank you so much for your attention. And here you have the different dates available for this trip, as well as the pricing and the contact information for the people in charge of this trip at Mountain Travel office. In this case, Samantha, she will be more than happy to assist you with any other questions you may have. And now I would like to see if there are some questions. I'm going to check the panel. And I have also some frequently asked questions that I would like to share with you. Many people, they ask if we can accommodate different diet restrictions for our customers. And yes, of course, we can. So when you sign up for this trip, we will receive your personal information, and then we will be able to provide meals accordingly. And also our guides will be checking with you during the trip as well. So that won't be a problem. Another question that we normally receive is about the difficulty of the hikes and the elevation. As I mentioned, well, most of the hikes are easy to moderate. There is nothing technical, but sometimes we will be walking at some high altitude. So that can be just the challenging part for this. But the hikes are easy on well-marked trails, so no problems at all. Another question we normally receive is what type of vehicle people will be traveling during the trip. And I had to say that we don't need any 4x4 vehicle for this trip. So normally we use Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, van, 15 or 19 seats. So you are comfortable during the time on the road. That's the type of vehicle in both sides of the Andes, on the Chilean side and the Argentinian side. And then in terms of weather, the weather in this region of the Central Andes is temperate. And when we have these departures from November to March, we don't have many rain, but you can expect, being close to the mountains, you can expect warm days and then cool nights. For this, we won't need any special gear, just good trekking shoes and something that you'll feel comfortable with, and that's it. And finally, people normally ask for the type of accommodation. As you could see on the slides, this is a mix of boutique hotels, small properties, I would say 4-star superior, and the experience at the Matetic Hacienda, that will be like a five-star, no hotel, but the experience will be a 5-star experience. So I think that's it. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you very much.